What are the challenges in creating this curriculum? Because today there's more and more colleges that have both undergrad and graduate programs to differentiate what you guys are doing.
Every other game development program that I know of is focusing on the nuts and bolts of making games. They teach people how to write game code. They teach people how to create game art assets. They teach people how to build levels and design game mechanics. And that's all necessary and great. I mean, they do a wonderful job. But when I started talking to the folks at the University of Texas, we very quickly realized that we needed to come up with something unique. We're getting into this fairly late in the game. There are over 300 game development programs in the United States alone. So we needed to come up with something that was completely different, that would differentiate us. And that, I think, is the focus on leadership. If you look at what the games industry does very, very badly, and what academia doesn't try to do at all, it's create the next generation of leaders, of team leaders, studio leaders, and discipline leads. But we do such a bad job of it. It's incredible to me. The way you become a leader in the game business is you get yourself in at a game company in some capacity. You then have to hope that there's someone at that company who has the time, the willingness, and the expertise to mentor you. So first of all, you've got 2 levels of luck. Then the company has to grow fast enough, or someone has to leave a position of leadership, meaning something opens up. Then you have to be the one person out of every person at that company who wants to be a leader that the company points to and says, you're it. And then the company has to get lucky that you're the person who's learned by osmosis everything you need to know to lead. I mean, a $100 billion business that depends on 5 or 6 levels of luck is insane. So when I looked at that situation, I said, industry isn't doing it, academia isn't doing it, and if we apply some of the teachings of business schools, of law schools, of medical schools that teach people to lead in their fields, apply some pedagogy to it, we can actually teach people how to lead. It's not something that you just come by naturally, though it helps to have some talent. It's something that has skills and knowledge that can be taught. So that's what makes us completely different. I think we are literally unique in the world of games education.
When you guys are only picking 20 people for this initial course, so what advice would you give to those people out there that do want to get involved in video game development?
The advice I give to people who want to get into this program is be the best of the best and convince me you're the best of the best through your portfolio, your references, and a statement of purpose, why you think you deserve a spot in this program. In general, it's a much larger question, and I think for someone who wants to get into game development, don't do what I did, which was not learn how to code. I've been doing this for 30 years and I can't write a line of code. It's insane. So learn to code, whatever you want to do. I mean, you'll be an artist, a designer, a programmer, producer. Learn to write some code. Become the best at your specialty, because generalists have a hard time. And then here's the one that educators love, parents love, and everybody in the industry thinks I'm crazy about. Don't neglect the humanities. Don't neglect the arts, because you never know in game development what you're going to need to know. It's one of the exciting things about being a game developer. I've had to know how a medieval castle works on a day-to-day basis. I've had to know how World War I biplanes flew and why a rotary engine is different from an inline engine. You never know. You have to know economics. You have to know behavioral psychology. You have to know all these things. You have to know how to communicate orally and in writing. So don't neglect the soft skills, because whatever your place in the game development world, you're going to need all of that. You just can't predict what of that you're going to need.